ever seen a courtroom day so wild that both sides in two different cases walked in thinking they were winning and walked out shocked for completely different reasons?
I'm not about to do this with you. You're making a lot of money and your child is coming up short and you don't have a problem with that?
In the first case, this dad came in ready to fight a huge child support bill.
No, I do have a problem with that. I would like him with me.
So you want the baby to be on social media for likes and follows?
Oh, it might be something that...
Like, what about school and all those other
He can
academic
do
things that he has to
homeschool
do?
when he's 3.
So
he's going to be on virtual school
like
with
that?
likes and followers?
You see it all the time. Why not? I mean...
Right, but don't you believe that that's a distraction?
No, I mean, I feel like... I'm making a pretty good income, and I think that this could really help him when he's older and to save up some money.
Well, if you're making a pretty good income, you can send more.
I agree with that.
Maybe you could work harder.
No, ma'am. Maybe you can work harder to be in your child's life. And I highly doubt a judge would place the child with you knowing that you travel, you're doing all of these things for growing your business, and the child is with him. Sounds like 100% of the time.
No, not all the time.
Okay, how often do you have the child?
When he allows the child to be with me when I'm not traveling.
Oh, okay. So when you're not traveling, that's how often?
Really, a couple of days a month.
Exactly. You made that up. This is what we're going to do. We're going to place you on child support based on that $100,000 a year, ma'am. Yeah, and don't look confused. It's the right thing to do. It is absurd that you believe it is okay to only send a couple of $100s to dad for your child, and you actually think that it's okay for your child to be toting along with you to grow your social media influence. Yeah, no, that's not what we're going to do.
A woman skipped her own divorce hearing, and the judge basically said, all right then, enjoy owing 20 grand and losing the dog you claimed you wanted.
20500NA. All right, we're on record for the first review on both parents' progress. May I have the names of our participants, please? Beginning with our guardian ad litem.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ariel Berger has the guardian ad litem. I apologize. I don't have much of a voice today.
All right, thank you.
Tasha Thomas, counsel for the department.
Sarah Harvey, foster care worker, DHHS.
Michael McFarland, representing Vonda. Please introduce yourself.
Alana Baker.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. William Amadeo, P76194. For respondent Father Devin Guyton, we appear via Zoom. Consent as such. Thank you for allowing the Zoom. Devin, please state your name for the court.
Devin Guyton.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your patience too. Now we're getting started a little bit late. We also had, okay, Jasmine Frederick, you're going to really need to keep your device on mute, please. We're getting started a little bit later, in part to allow Mr. McFarland to review an additional exhibit with his client.
Thank you.
So anyway, but we'll get caught up and get started. Any other opening comments?
I do have an opening comment, Your Honor. I have reviewed the report briefly with my client. We're asking if the court admits it that we be able to readdress it at the next hearing, like the court sometimes does. In reviewing the report here, the case service plan, my client believes that she needs to be at least assessed for inpatient. So she'd be agreeable to that assessment. So that's our opening statement.
Thank you. I would be inclined to grant Mr. McFarland's request. Essentially what he's asking is to allow cross-examination on the late exhibit at our next review as he sees fit. Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
None at all, Judge.
No.
All right, Mr. McFarland.
Thank you. That's it.
Very good. Okay, Ms. Berger, your comments, your report, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, God, this is going to be rough. I was able to do a visit with Keanu this reporting period and with his placement, Jasmine. She reported that things are really going good with him, and he is very bubbly, very joyous to see, and running around, and he's talking a lot, and he's doing really well with his placement there. It has been reported that both parents have missed a couple of visits, that mom has missed a few, that dad has missed a few. The family does have concerns that mom is continuing to drink alcohol, maybe use other drugs. I have concerns that she has continued police involvement and police contact, some to do with being around other minor children, I think our sibling, some to do just with being other adults and getting arrested and things like that. So there are several concerns that I still have, and new concerns that I have. I know that this is an accelerated case, or at least I would request that it be an accelerated case. And although the child seems to be doing, really well where he is, mom does not seem to be progressing at a pace that I would like to see. So I would just hope that she be able to come to terms with that and really do some things that are going to help her make positive changes in her life and to be able to continue to see her son. She does attend medical appointments. She was able to attend the last one with the caseworker. So there are positives. She is doing her visit. She is doing some things in this case, but realistically, I just would hope that she can take this really seriously and really start to understand that this is not like last time. We don't have a ton of time. She knows what she has to do, and I just hope that she's able to do that. But the child is in the least restrictive placement. He is too young to express his wishes directly to me, but he's bonding really well with his placement there. He's sleeping well. He's eating really well. Placement was able to take him off of melatonin, so he doesn't even need sleep aids at this point. So I'm just hoping that that he continues to do well in his placement and that mom really steps up in this next reporting period. I've not had any contact with dad. I know that he was doing virtual visits. He missed a couple of those, but I'm not sure if those have been rescheduled or not. I would have to look back up in the court report to get updates on that aspect as well. But other than that, I think I would just look forward to another review period. Thank you.
Your testimony today, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is Ms. Harvey be sworn in?
Ms. Harvey, come on up to our witness stand.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, proceed well.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Harvey, for today's hearing, you provided a court report with some attachments. And I believe that at this point, all the other attorneys have also seen an additional police report that I believe you intend for the court to receive today. And other than those documents, are there any other documents that have been circulated? Do any of the parties?
No.
Okay. And are there any updates or modifications that need to be made to any of the documents that are included in the report as of today?
Not to the documents. No.
Okay. As it relates to the contents of your report, generally, can you just summarize how you would describe the parents' level of compliance with the benefits from their respective case service plans?
I would say that Alana's current overall standing would be partial compliance. We're seeing a lot of services, but definitely big questions on the benefits from the services and maybe the honesty with the service providers. As far as dad, I have little compliance from dad.
Can we, going back to your statement about Ms. Baker's benefit from services and honesty with the providers of those services, can you briefly elaborate what you, I guess, in particular, what you are seeing and what your concerns are?
Yes. As far as, I guess substance use would be the easiest one to pinpoint at this time. Alana is utilizing substance use treatment services. However, we're still seeing major concerns with alcohol use. When we do drug screens, she does test positive or negative for all substances. However, we're still seeing negative choices being made while under the influence of alcohol. And she won't always be honest with me about those in the beginning, but afterwards she will come back around and we can have more open conversations. But in the moment of honesty, when that when the opportunity is there to tell me the whole entire story, I get pieces of it. I believe that in other services, they're seeing similar issues. Individual therapy. I know that it's all self-report. So what Alana reports is what they work on. I don't know the extent to the overall truthfulness or full disclosure. I guess I'll say it that way instead. A full disclosure of everything that's going on and all of the concerns. That would be my biggest example are those two things.
And generally speaking, mom looks like she has new employment. She has housing. Are those things, to the best of your knowledge, going well or stable at this point in time?
I know the employment was a little bit wobbly. She did get a new job at Marco's in the beginning of the case. And then maybe a month later, she indicated to me that she had lost that position due to her drinking, but was able to get it back. So when there was a setback, she was able to correct it. However, you could see that the substance use got in the way in that time. But I don't believe that her housing is going to be affected at all.
In your report, there are two, well, there's one incident from, I believe, October 13th that's referenced a couple of times in here. Is there any information from that particular event that you would like the court to know about, or any concerns in that event that relate to, I guess, the safety and welfare of the child the court does have jurisdiction over?
I guess it just goes to an overarching topic of things that we've discussed before. Prior, or at the beginning of the case and prior to the case, it was discussed that it was inappropriate if this child were removed from her care. It would be inappropriate for her to be the caregiver to other children. That continued after it was said multiple times during different family team meetings and things like that, that position was no longer an appropriate position for her to take. And then on, about mid-October, we saw the fallout of that, where there was a large party at Alana's house. Alana indicates she wasn't there. Other people indicate she was. There's a lot of that type of back and forth about what really happened. There was a lot of drinking. There was a possible sexual assault of a minor that was in her care at that time, whether she was there in the home or not. That's all still being investigated. I don't know what's going to become of that, but it just goes to an overarching concern.
I know that Mr. McFarland has brought up the more recent police report that we've just been able to provide everyone today. As relates to that incident, which is not included in your report, can you just, for the record, give us a summary and what your concerns are from that incident?
It was brought to my attention that last weekend, no, not the weekend that we just had, the weekend before, that Alana picked up her younger sister, and they were out. Alana had been drinking very heavily. They went to one of Alana's friends' homes. There was an incident there in which Alana became loud and kind of didn't want to listen to the other people at the party, I guess. Her sister took her into a separate room to try to calm her down. From there, a physical altercation took place between Alana and her sister. Two adult women attempted to separate the two and stop the fighting. Those two women ended up assaulting Alana, and Alana and her sister then left that apartment. It was indicated that Alana was trying to break back into the apartment using a credit card, trying to get through the door, banging on multiple doors at the apartment complex. 911 was eventually called. When the police officer asked her if she had been drinking, she said right away that she wanted to take a PBT, and her PBT test came back as 0.174. Very concerning because she had been driving while she was under the influence, and she again had her minor sister with her at the time.
Have you been able to speak with any of the service providers that were Colavargas?
No, I did send over the request for records and the release of information that Alana did sign for me, but I have not gotten anything back from them. I've been able to verify her pathways meetings that she does go to and provided those in the court report.
And as it relates to mental health treatment, I know that there's a letter in here from Ms. Perez. However, it's not dated and it reads it says as of April 15th. Was that letter provided back then?
No, I did just get it recently. I guess I hadn't noticed the date inconsistency on it, but I did just receive it recently.
Okay. I just wasn't sure how to read it. She's been in treatment with Ms. Perez since April.
That's quite possible.
Okay, and then up to today, there's been a making session. And as it relates to Mr. Guyton, I know that you indicated that there's been little engagement with services, I guess. Have you had an opportunity to discuss with him any barriers that might exist to getting started in some of those services?
Yep, we have those conversations each time that we meet. He needs to apply for benefits, state benefits. He has not yet done that. When I last checked in, he thought that the government shutdown would prohibit him from doing that, so I verified that it would not. He's been explained and shown how to apply, where to apply, that the ladies at the front desk will help him if he needs assistance. There are computers in the lobby area for him if he needs that as well. And then he also has been referred quite a few times to go to Housing Help of Lenawee to discuss options for housing. He has not indicated to me recently that he has done that yet. He has started the therapeutic visitation services, but only had one. And then there was an incident at the more recent visitation where the visitation had to be shortened due to the suspicion of him being under the influence.
Were you able to discuss that concern with him about, it looks like there was 2 instances, maybe one at the psychological and then at the parenting time, where there was concern about potential alcohol use or smelling of alcohol use at those events.
Yes.
Have you discussed that with him?
I have not been able to discuss either with him. Those occurred on both in the same week. The psychological occurring, I believe, on Tuesday, and he had a strong odor of alcohol. We did do a drug screen that day. He did test negative. Those results have come in. He did test negative for alcohol, meaning that he was under the limit of 0.08. Doesn't mean that he didn't have any alcohol in his system. It just means he was under the legal limit. But he did test positive for marijuana.
Okay.
As he indicated that he would.
And then generally, it looks like from parenting time or from your report, parenting time with Mr. Guyton is generally appropriate. There are just some concerns about making sure that he has all of the supplies necessary for the child.
Yes. Ms. Sloan hadn't had a chance to get me the full report yet. She is here if anyone has questions about that. But he, first couple visits, it does seem to be that he does not come prepared. He maybe takes a backseat type of approach to parenting, very laid back, not very hands-on, I guess, in a way. And then the issue with the suspected substance use did cut short the most recent incident.
And at this time, I believe we are noticed for emergency planning hearing as well for today.
Not for today.
Not for today. Okay, wasn't
We'll
sure.
be on the next one.
Okay. And so with the goal towards reunification, what are the barriers that prevent reunification from happening today?
Barriers for Ms. Baker would definitely be substance use, continued, I want to say anger issues, which leads to assaultive behavior. Just continued emotional stability. We need to continue to work on emotional stability. That would definitely impact him. For Mr. Guyton, we have all of the barriers are still there: substance use, housing, verifying of employment, those things.
And is there anything else you'd like the court to know about related to this case, or even how the child's doing at this time?
He's doing wonderful. He's a pure joy. We took him this week to a doctor's visit. He was playing football in the waiting area. Everyone is so impressed by his ability to throw a football. He is a little football player and really throw a spiral, to be honest with you. At 2 years old, he can throw a spiral. So he's a very resilient little one as well. We do have a trauma assessment CTAC scheduled for him in January.
And that will have the bonding component?
Yes, it will.
Okay. And there might be an argument, with mom not being the primary caregiver of the child at this time, like the extracurricular activities or parties or whatever it might be, don't necessarily pose risk of harm to the child at this time. Do you have any concerns as how it might pose a risk to him, even though he's not in her care?
Yes. It goes to the greater impact. We're talking about a placement that is a relative placement. They're going to be family functions where they're all together. And if mom can't maintain safety for herself, then we can't. That creates an issue then with family time. Are we all going to be in this family function? Do we have to prohibit mom from being there? Those types of things. We don't ever want to get to that type of a place. And that is a big concern. If we don't fully know what's going on and mom's stability outside of those visitations, if mom isn't stable, she can't be a good stable person for him.
Thank you. Your Honor, with that, I ask the court to accept the court report with its attachments. Mr. Garland has the only printed copy I have of the police report, which I don't know if you're okay party with that.
I am. The copy will be made for me before I leave. I have no problem with that, Your Honor.
James, would you mind making a copy of that police report for me, Ms. Thomas? Do you need a copy back?
No, Your Honor, I have the electronic.
Could I have another copy for my client too?
So 2 copies.
2 copies.
And then I get that. Very good. Thank you. Questions for this witness, Mr. McFarland?
I do. Do you support my client going back to McCullough Vargas and seeing if she qualifies for, or what their position is as to what her treatment should be, whether she needs inpatient, continuing on her current path? Do you support her doing that?
Yes, I would always support any additional services that she would like to participate in and show benefit from.
I know you said that she may not have told her support everything. Do you supply the support with court reports and progress notes or anything?
I've had a good conversation with at least the individual therapist. At this time, she would like to maintain it as what is self-reported. In the future, if she feels that it is necessary for me to challenge in those moments, then she'll let me know. But right now, that's how she would like to continue with her therapy.
Do you think that's the most beneficial way to continue?
It's not my position to dictate how a therapist feels that they should move forward.
I'm not asking that, but what is your opinion about that? So
Personally, myself, I like to know all of the whole picture so that I can see the best solution for those things. I don't know if in that circumstance, if that is the best way to move forward or not.
Okay. If you were to have a discussion with my client and she's agreeable to that, would that make a difference if it might be beneficial for her therapy?
I think it would always be beneficial to be completely honest in therapy.
I'll discuss that with her. Going back to the incident where my client tested 0.174 for alcohol, you're not denying that she and her sister may have been victims of an assault, correct?
No.
But your concern is that she was for high blood alcohol content, that she may have been driving with a minor in the car. That's your principal concern. Is that what I'm hearing?
That is a large concern, yes.
As far as the other incident with her sister at her apartment, a 16-year-old can be alone by themselves. Protective services normally wouldn't be called in just if a 16-year-old were alone at home, correct?
Correct.
And did you talk to the mother of the 16-year-old to determine if she had permission to be there?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And is your understanding that the mother also knew that my client was not going to be there?
I believe so.
So it's not the fault, that my client wasn't at the apartment when all this happened, but your concern is that my client may have been there. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think both would be a concern. If she at that time would be called the appropriate caregiver in that moment, if she is not understanding what's going on at her own home with the person that she's supposed to be the caregiver for, that's concerning. And if she were there while all of this was also occurring, that's concerning.
Thank you. Record should reflect I received a copy of the police report referenced. Date of occurrence 11/23/25.
I acknowledge, so I am my client, Your Honor. If my client it doesn't sound as though mother knew there was going to be a party there and allowed her daughter to go, correct?
I don't know about that part. I don't.
Oh, you didn't ask her about that, right?
No, there is an ongoing CPS investigation into the matter. I am not the investigator on that.
If the facts were, my client was going to allow her sister to be there. She had no idea there was going to be a party. And it's not wrong to have a 16-year-old be alone at the home. And then she called in to the police, which I'm told she did, as soon as she discovered a party. Under that scenario, it wouldn't be a fault of my client, correct?
It would be less of a concern.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was this at your client's home?
That's my understanding, Your Honor.
Okay, go on.
Is that true? That's where this alleged
Yes.
incident happened?
Yes.
Okay. Some things I see in the report, we have things scheduled in January, she hasn't had an opportunity to do that, not at her own fault, correct?
Correct.
She tells me that last week Parkside canceled 2 of her appointments, not her fault. Is that correct?
I believe that there was at least one. I don't know about the second one. I know that there was one that was canceled by Parkside, not at her fault.
I understand they're being rescheduled.
As far as I know.
I don't see in the police report, in your court report, that any visits have been canceled because my client was intoxicated or high under any substance, correct?
No, she did cancel one visit prior to starting with Parkside when we were doing a different supervisor.
Okay. Did she indicate the reason why?
She, at that time, her sister was staying with her. This was previous to the October 13th incident. Her sister was staying with her and she needed to take her sister to the ER.
Okay, so we're not finding fault with that, correct?
No, we just needed to prioritize herself rather than prioritize taking care of her sister.
But if an emergency arose, then
I agree.
you wouldn't want her to leave her sister alone.
Yes, we agreed with that.
Okay,
We just
that's
needed
fine.
a bigger picture issue.
Recommending that the parenting time continue at the 2 times per week. I think an hour a week. Is that an hour per visit? Is that what it is right now?
I would go along with whatever a therapeutic visitation supervisor would agree is beneficial at this time. That would be my recommendation.
It sounds as though, I'll make it brief, but the focus, what my client needs to focus on right now is get her alcoholism under control. Is that correct?
Yes, it's very, very large concern.
Is there concern with the mental health component? Or
Absolutely,
not?
yes.
What does she need to do there?
She did make her appointment. She no-showed 3 appointments before that. We need to be consistent with, we have an appointment, we make our appointment, we show up to our appointment. When we go to individual therapy, we're being open and honest, and no one is having to dig for the information to try to put pieces together. And when things are happening in the moment, that's the time to disclose them and talk about them. I think that those are the most important pieces for her.
Of course, anybody with an addiction, that's a very difficult thing to do to a degree.
Absolutely, yes.
What's her time frame so we have some expectation? What's the time frame that she should make an appointment to see McCullough Vargas regarding what her next plan of action is? What are you anticipating?
As soon as possible.
You want her to tell you when she has a scheduled appointment?
Absolutely, yes.
And you have releases, right?
Mhm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, cross-examination, Mr. Amadeo.
Thanks. Good morning, Miss Harvey. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So, you said that my client had the odor of alcohol in his breath?
On this person, yes, yes.
All right. And the test came back. It was negative. Is that accurate?
Yes, it was under 0.08.
Now, you said he has laid-back parenting skills. Can you explain what that means and what you would recommend to correct that if there is a problem?
I think parenting education would be our correction for that, which we just have not gotten to that point yet. What I mean by a laid-back parenting is it appears that he hasn't had to be the hands-on primary parent, which we talk about often, that he has been there as a support person. He has had him in his care, but he has never been the primary caregiver per se. So that really is something that we need to focus on.
Do you have any other recommendations for my client right now? I read your report and I concur with it. When do you think unification would be a possibility? Is there progress in that direction?
Right now, I've seen no progress towards reunification.
Okay. Nothing further from me. Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Do you have any concerns that mom may be providing drugs or alcohol to minors in her care?
It has been reported in police reports and through other sources that she has provided alcohol to her sister.
And is that a concern of yours?
It would be a concern. She indicates she has not. They indicate she has. So yes, if she is, it would be a major concern.
Excuse me. Would that be, would that cause you any other concerns with a much younger child being in her care?
Yes, it would. If we are making inappropriate decisions with someone who is older and can voice their own concerns and tell people what's going on, it then raises concerns that we would be making inappropriate choices with a younger one that isn't able to vocalize what's going on.
Okay. Do you know if mom has been engaged in any physical violence lately?
Yes, the police report from last weekend does indicate that there was physical violence perpetrated by herself. The report indicates both towards her sister and towards the 2 women who tried to intervene.
Okay. Was mom injured as a result of this?
Yes.
Okay. What injuries did she sustain?
When I saw her on Tuesday, she had a black eye.
Is Tuesday when you saw her with a minor child?
Yes.
Did he see her with a black eye?
Yes, he did ask her what it was. She told him it was a boo-boo.
Okay. Do you have concerns about the child seeing mom with physical injuries?
I'm sorry, with child seeing mom?
With physical injuries?
Yes, yeah, it is. It clearly was something that was concerning to him because he asked her quite a few times, and she did stand her ground and just reply, "It's a boo boo, and mommy's okay. It's just a boo boo." But he did notice it, and he did bring it up a few times.
Okay. Is her continuing engagement in violence a concern of the department's?
Yes, it was a concern when it brought him into care, and it's still a concern today.
Okay. Is she doing anything to address that?
Her individual therapy, I know that she does work with a therapist that specializes in domestic violence issues. So she is working on that. We have not started any anger management at this time.
Okay, no other questions. Thank you.
Any redirect, Ms. Thomas?
Briefly, Ms. Harvey, do we have any updates on the psychological evaluation reports?
Yes, both have been completed. I have not gotten a date on when we can have those reports though.
Okay.
They both have been completed.
Okay. And then you just made the comment about the anger management not starting yet. Is that something that you as a caseworker would wait to see the recommendations from the psychological, or is that something that you believe could just a referral be put in now?
Yes, I would wait. We also, Alana and I had a very good conversation in the beginning about parenting classes and anger management classes. And with so much going on at the very onset of the case, she didn't feel that she was ready yet to start working on those things. She's prioritizing her education and the services stabilization in the services that we're working on right now.
And I know that you mentioned earlier that you were able to speak with Ms. Perez about, maybe providing more information. Do you happen to know if Ms. Perez also addresses patterns of, domestic violence that are perpetrated or for a perpetrator or solely for victims who experience domestic violence?
I'm not sure, but I would assume both, but I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
It sounds like there's a referral for the child for a neurological evaluation.
He had a neurology appointment. So he had a seizure a while back. So we went in for just a follow-up on that. He is going to have a test done. They don't suspect that this is a seizure disorder or anything. They're just doing a routine test, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Any questions from our attorneys? Our other attorneys?
I do. When my client was visiting her child and had the black eye, my understanding that was after this party where she was the alleged victim, right?
Yes, where the assaults took place, yes.
Okay. So, I understand you have some concern, but it appears as though it happened not when she was an aggressor, when she was a victim, so.
The report indicates that she was also an aggressor.
But just appearing with injuries in itself, parents are injured every day, that's, it'd be concerning, but you're not saying that you don't know whether the black eye occurred as a victim or not, do you?
No, and that wasn't my point. My point was just that he had noticed it. He asked her about it a few times.
Okay. Who is the they specifically who says that my client is providing alcohol to her sister?
The police report indicates a couple of people. That police report has not been sent out because it is still an open investigation. I just know that in the police report, it is indicated that she had provided alcohol.
Okay, so nobody has told you directly. That's just hearsay of hearsay.
It's just a police report, yes.
Okay, you have no way to verify that, correct?
Not yet. It's open investigation still.
Okay. And same way with the incident with the 16-year-old, her sister at her house. Who had said they specifically?
That was the same incident.
Okay.
That has the open investigation.
Got you. Okay, I did not realize that. Okay. Nothing further, thank you.
All right, Ms. Berger, Mr. Amadeo, speak now. Further hold your peace as it relates to this witness.
No further questions. Thank you.
I'll forever hold my peace. Thanks, Judge.
Well, for today. This witness. Very good. All right, any other witnesses, Ms. Thomas?
No, Your Honor, I'll let parent attorneys call their clients if they'd like. Thank you.
Give your attorney. Thank you, Ms. Hunt. Mr. McCarland?
No, my client's going to rest on my opening statement with her desire.
All right, any witnesses today, Mr. Amadeo?
No, Judge. My client will not be taking the stand. Thank you.
Anyone you'd like us to hear from, Ms. Berger?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Comments in closing, beginning with Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. I know that collectively as a group, we have a long history with Ms. Baker, and I know that we all are very hopeful for her to really take seriously the conditions that caused this child to come into care. And I know that can be really hard, to be honest with yourself and with service providers, but I'm hopeful today that there can be a turning point. I know that in the beginning we had asked for termination and initial disposition, given the history here. And I think the fear of the department is that with an accelerated case like this, we would be asking the court to consider that at our next hearing if there are not significant changes. And so we are asking the court to set this as a permanency planning hearing, given the plan in the beginning. And we are asking the court for some guidance about potential parenting time. I know that right now for both parents, they're seemingly appropriate for the therapeutic parenting time. And if we need to have a family meeting to discuss a more set virtual parenting time schedule, we can do that. I just have some concerns about if dad's going to show up to parenting time, smelling of marijuana or alcohol, who has the discretion to terminate that visit. And we want to make sure that we're also honoring the parents' rights to having parenting time. So I would take any feedback from the court on that point. Otherwise, we'd be asking for a 90-day review joint with a currency planning hearing. Thank you.
Mr. McFarland?
I think the parenting time issue can be resolved by just saying that my client should call so many hours ahead of time to confirm that she's going to show up. We haven't had any testimony that she's ever showed up inappropriately. I understand that she may have missed one or two. Also, at least one, my client's indicating two. Parkside had to reschedule. So that visits are going wrong. And my client actually was a victim and received an injury to her face as a victim. That really can't fault her. We have two active investigations that are inconclusive. But my client does agree that this is a come to Jesus moment, that she really does need to get her alcohol not under control, but complete abstinence. She realizes that that is the goal. And she's approaching McCullough Vargas with that, Your Honor. And she's going to make an appointment ASAP to do that. She'll go there to schedule that and sign any releases necessary, realizing that it may jeopardize her job, it may jeopardize her housing, but most importantly, that she doesn't get it under control, it's going to jeopardize her being mother to this child. So she is taking it seriously. Thank you.
Hey, any comments, Mr. Amadeo?
Judge, I wasn't going to make too much of an issue because it's a review. I just want to point out that my client is trying to improve his situation. The alcohol test did come back for negative. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments, Ms. Berger?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. The court finds all interested parties were given notice for purposes of today's review. I do want to say I'm glad to see that both parents have taken their psychological evaluation and at least to some extent are trying to visit with the child. The record certainly supports reasonable efforts towards the goal of reunification. Ms. Harvey spearheading those nicely with a number of referrals for the parents and monitoring what's been happening with them as well as with the child. Our guardian ad litem is also certainly in compliance with her obligations. It shows, the record really clearly demonstrates that these parents understand the challenges and the things that stand in the way of reunification with their child at this time. There's been a very frank discussion by way of direct and cross-examination of the risks that still exist that don't allow the court to return the child at this time. The child is in the safest and least restrictive environment. He's doing well there, growing spirals, which is awesome to hear. Thank you for that bit of detail. And I'm sure that's exciting too for the parents to be able to see for him. We'll set a 90-day review and permanency planning hearing. The attorneys have already done a nice job of pointing out that this is a rather accelerated case. This is petition 3. These issues aren't new. Ms. Baker knows what she's got to do. It's just a matter of seeing if that's going to be something she can accomplish. And so I wish you the best of luck in that in the next report period, as well as Mr. Guyton. I know those are not easy challenges to overcome, but my job is to make sure that your child is in a safe and secure environment where he can continue to make those dough and milestones happen, and maybe the touchdowns, and that will continue to be the focus of the court and the providers moving forward. So stay focused, keep your eye on the ball, if you will, and we'll come back in 3 months for a review. Puts us out to around March 1st, so let me have a look at the calendar to see what works for everyone. The end of February has some availability Tuesday, February 17th in the afternoon, 1:30 p.m. Will that work for everyone?
Yes, if the psychological report expected to be completed for that time and sent out.
I don't really have a timeline on it. I would expect so, but I don't have a specific timeline.
Yeah.
I'm not available anyways.
Oh, I guess that answers that.
Okay. All right. Moving into the next week, we have the morning of Tuesday, the 24th at 8:30.
Perfect.
March 24th at 8. Wait, am I out too far there?
Is it February?
February 24th? It needs to be February. Yes. Yep, February 24th at 8:30. Okay, and that will be a permanency planning hearing, so we'll need both of the parents to buckle up and get started on their difficult work. Unless there's any questions, that's all for today.
Should my client wait out in the hall for